What's up guys, Armada here, and today we're back with the next part of our tier list. And I know many people have asked for this one for a while, so I'm very happy to bring part 2 to you guys. I just want to keep one thing clear though, when it comes to tier lists, a lot of things comes down to how you value things personally. And one thing that really crossed my mind while working on this is how I would like to rank characters if I consider them as a solo main or as a counterpick character. And I came down to quite different conclusions based on this alone. So to be clear, I have ranked everything based on how I personally view them as a solo main. Some characters will appear a bit lower or higher than you might expect. But anyway, let's get started. It makes me kinda sad to put Gamewatch this low since I really like to play this character, but sadly I can't put him higher than this. While Gamewatch have some great strengths, such as great hitboxes and great follow-ups from grabs, even having true combos and kill confirms until very high percent, even against Puff. His hitboxes are great and cover a lot of space. His fair straight up beats Puff's backer, which I think will explain how good the move can be, and his overall punish game is also very solid on all type of characters. He also falls pretty slowly, it can make it back to the stage while being far away, which makes both his edge guards a dangerous tool while also having a great recovery. Some may wonder with all of this, why not higher in the tier list? Despite his good strengths, he sadly has big weaknesses, such as practically no shield, which makes it very hard in pressured situation. Neutral gets harder, because running shield is a great tool in neutral to gain more center stage, and you keep getting shield poked very easily. This alone takes away so much from the character, and he's also incredibly light and dies so easily to so many kill confirms from other characters. The fact that some of his moves also can't be L-cancelled is also pretty bad for him. I still hope to see someone pick him up because he is a lot of fun and he can still be pushed much further. This probably comes as a surprise for everyone, but let me explain why I ranked Young Link where I ranked him. As I talked about earlier, when it comes to solo main versus dual main, I view characters very differently. And if this list had focused on dual mains, then Young Link would have been much higher thanks to his surprisingly good matchups versus floaty characters like Puff, Peach, Samus. But in the world as a solo main, I think Young Link suffers a lot, especially in a very spacey heavy meta where he does worse than all the other characters around his level against them. Mainly because of grabs being really hard to land and really hard to get his combos started against them. Young Link has some great strengths though, which is being pretty fast and having a great zoning and projectile game, which makes him stronger against floaties, but those tools are much harder to use against faster characters. Young Link's bombs, for example, if hit by Fox lasers, starts flying back towards Young Link, and his lack of a normal grab makes his projectile spam much easier to get around with shield, because his grab is really risky and sadly often not worth the risk. Young Link also doesn't have much in terms of range, and as I said, he has a hard time to get his combo started. His main tool to combo is with up airs, but it's hard to get his opponents above him. Partly, he doesn't have the best of up throws, it's hard to land the grab in the first place anyway, and his dash attack also does not work like a Sheik or Peach dash attack, so it launches people up in the air. It doesn't do that either. And I think his placement is something many will disagree with, but as I said, keep in mind that if this list was based on dual maining, then I for sure would have placed him higher. Mewtwo is one of the harder characters for me to rank in the game, and I would personally love to see more from Mewtwo in the future. Mewtwo was once considered to be the worst character in the game, and has in the eyes of many started to climb quite a bit, mainly because of Tosh back in the day, but also thanks to Soma and Leffen in more recent time. Mewtwo does have some major flaws though, mainly his tail having its big hurt box and being very light, which honestly is not logical at all considering the fact that he's super heavy in the actual Pokemon games, but hey, logic does not apply here. Anyway, despite those flaws, I feel that some of the good stuff Mewtwo does have been overlooked a lot in the past. Mewtwo's recovery is actually so good, and I think many, after thinking about it, would put this recovery as the best in the game next to Puff. And edge guarding is so difficult. In a meta where optimization around the ledge had been pushed a lot in recent years, this is such a great thing to have. Mewtwo also have a great ground movement thanks to his long wave dash and pretty long range on his down tilt as well, which of course can be crouch cancelled for a while, but still a great tool anyway. Mewtwo also have a great grab, best kill throw in the game, and a good back throw to set up for edge guards, which is another area where Mewtwo shines, because of him falling slowly and being able to make it back from very far out, while quickly also being able to take the ledge with his up B, so great potential for fake outs too. I could see Mewtwo keep climbing the list in the future, and I already wonder if I myself underrated him or not. And I would like to hear more from Tosh, Soma, and Leffen moving forward too. Despite DK being one of the more linear characters in the game, I still think DK has a lot to offer. His grab game is extremely powerful, especially against the fast fallers, but against other characters as well. And DK have long range, mainly on his backer, which can make it hard to get in against him. And his upper is really good for combos, and combine this with DK's punch, he clearly have kill power too. Much like Ganondorf though, DK suffers from being very big, which makes him an easy target to hit and combo, while also being bad off stage with practically no mix-ups to offer to help him to get back to the stage. His up B, while not being very good off stage though, is an amazing tool to use as an anti-air, and people trying to hit DK from above clearly runs a huge risk to get hit by his really strong up B. It was also used incredibly well back in the day by Bum, a DK player, so if you're not familiar with DK at all, I would actually recommend to check some of his matches out. I know they are old, but for its time, it was really good, and can still probably be used for inspiration for up-and-coming DK players. The slower but stronger version of Young Link. What makes me believe that Link is a better solo main character than he is? Honestly, it comes down to a few factors. His superior range makes it much easier for him to keep faster opponents out, and his dash attack is actually a great tool for combos. And trust me, I love dash attacks. He also has a much easier time to kill his opponents, which is so important. His dash attack, as mentioned, sets up for combos and tech chases, and he's simply much better from tech chase scenarios, thanks to the dash attack, up B, which also can semi-spike by the way, and the down smash. Stronger punishes and easier kills are very crucial here. Plus, a longer hookshot and bomb recovery is good tools to have as well. Another thing I would like to mention about Link's down smash is that it's actually a good tool to shield poke his opponents too. I remember seeing Six, a German Link, use this a lot to his advantage at Air last summer. For me, Link is actually a very decent character that could make it much further in tournaments with the right players playing him. Part of me wished that HDL still played Link as he did back in the day. A very underrated character, I think, despite his weaknesses. And some may wonder, what is his main weaknesses? And I would say that it's a really slow grab, like Young Link, Samus, and so on. And he's also pretty bad out of shield. So those two things hold the characters back, but overall still a very solid character. And hopefully we will see more people taking him further in tournaments. Probably another surprise on this list for many is my placement of Ganondorf. For the people that know me, this might not be as surprising though. Ganon is, just like DK, a very big target to hit, while he also has a really bad recovery, so don't end up off stage with this character. It's easier said than done though. I feel like those factors combined is just not suited for a game like Melee. You don't want to be an easy target to hit, while also being bad out of shield, because you have no fast moves. Ganon does hit hard though. He is heavy, so he can crouch cancel a long time, which can be applied a lot against Mar, for example. And he does have a great down throw against practically every character, so he's not all bad. Like the down throw, it sets up for chain grab against some characters like Sheik, for example. Against fast fallers, it sets up for tech chases. Theoretical chain grabs can be done as well. I will be honest, I have not looked too much into it, so I'm not sure entirely how hard they are to perform. But at the very least, it still sets up for great tech chases, but they are based on reads and not reactions, which in this meta takes away from the character quite a bit. Like, compared to see a Falcon, for example, like Wizrobe, that tech chase on reaction and gets much more solid and consistent punishes because of it. And also with Ganondorf's range, especially on small stages, mainly Yoshi's, Ganon actually becomes drastically better if you compare to stages like Dreamland, that is incredibly big, or FD, that is also big, and also no platforms, which makes Ganondorf's movement suffer a lot. On small stages, I actually think Ganon is drastically better. So if he could play on Yoshi's and Battlefield only, Ganondorf maybe would have been a bit higher. He probably would. I feel like we need to take into consideration that his weaker stages are there always as well. So yeah, I feel like this is probably one of the more controversial placements as well. Even though, to be fair, it's only one placement lower than the average person puts Ganondorf. So I'm very curious to hear what you guys think about my placement of Ganon. I feel like this probably could lead to some good discussions, but we will see. And I hope the Ganondorf players don't feel too offended. But yeah, that's my current opinion of Ganondorf, at least for now. Who knows, it might change in the future. This was probably one of the more controversial parts of this list, but I hope you all enjoyed this video, and please let me know in the comments below what changes you would make and why, or if you agree with my placements, do you agree for the same reasons, or is it something completely different? I also want to thank you all for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Please make sure to subscribe to the channel if you like the video. The support goes a long way, and take care everyone, and we'll see you in the next video. And I promise it won't take as long until part 3 of the tier list. Peace.